Hey everyone, welcome to another Walks with Holly. I'm Holly, your host, and it's a windy evening that is, so I don't know how the sound is when it's windy. I don't know how it's coming across. If it's really bad, then this will not get posted, but I like to just give it a try. Sometimes it doesn't sound as bad, so yeah, I just need to try and see how it turns out. So I want to just clarify that I do wear a Yankees hat pretty much all the time, but I am not a Yankees fan. I'm not from New York or anything like that. Honestly, this hat just fits my head really well. I don't know, I'm very particular about hats and how they fit. And I don't know, it just works. It's a good shading hat. So most of the times when I take walks, it's sunny out. It's not sunny out now. The sun is it's behind some clouds, but it's windy, and hats not only keep the sun out of my face, but it also keeps my hair from blowing in my face, a little bit at least. But yeah, I don't know. I got this hat one day. I don't know if someone gave it to me or what. I've had it forever. But out of all the baseball caps that I own, it is the one that I find the most comfortable. And I don't like to think, but I believe I have a very large head. I don't know. I take after my dad. My dad had a kind of a large head. And I just find that most hats always are too tight on my head. Even though they're adjustable, baseball caps are adjustable. I just don't like the way they fit. And yeah, I have thick hair too, so that also adds to my big head. So that is the reason why I wear this hat. For those of you that are from New York or are a Yankees fan, probably thought, oh cool, I like her because she's a Yankees fan or from New York or whatever. You probably knew I wasn't from New York because I don't have an accent or anything, and you probably were just you could just tell I was not from New York. I did live in New York at one time. Yes, I guess I could have some claim to fame that I did live in New York. Not New York City, but close. I lived in Nyack, New York. If any of you guys have heard of Nyack, New York. I went to a college there for a year, and so it was about 20 miles, 20 miles or 20 minutes. I doubt it was 20 minutes because everything took forever to get to out there, but I think it was about 20 miles up the Hudson River. I don't know. Those of you from Nyack, New York will probably correct me on that one. But yeah, I remember you can see the skyline on a clear day in Nyack, New York, if you're on the Tappan Zee Bridge. That's a memory I have, but I don't know how good that memory was. So yeah, this is Walks with Holly. I just talk about random things sometimes, and I just know that it might come up, and if anyone has seen past videos, it might come up as a question as to why I always wear a New York Yankees cap, and I wanted to just explain my reason. I'm actually thinking about getting a different hat because since I wear it so much, I don't know, I just don't want to leave people wondering. What I'd really like is a Colorado Rockies hat, because in case you've watched my videos before, you know that I live in the beautiful state of Colorado. I'm not a native. I was not born here. I did not grow up here. I moved here on my own when I was in my late 20s, and I've lived here ever since. And for those of you who do not know how old I am, I wasn't going to say how many years I've lived here, But yeah, it's been well over 12 years that I've lived here. It's a great place. I love it. That is why I have not left. I actually have lived in several different states, so I do have a lot to compare it to. So it's not like I'm just saying Colorado is the best and I have nothing to compare it to, you know, for the people who were born and raised here. But yeah, I was born and raised in Arizona, and then when I graduated high school, I wanted to venture out because that's just the kind of person I am. I did not want to stay in my hometown. No, I had no plans at all for staying in my hometown. It just, I don't know. I never really liked living there. I mean, I have great childhood memories and everything, and I don't mind going back to visit my parents there over the years, but I just didn't want to live there myself. I did not want to get stuck there is how I always kind of visioned it, because I knew there was a possibility if I did not move away that I might get stuck there, because you never know. I mean, you can end up meeting somebody who likes living there, you know, meeting a future spouse and getting married, and once you get married and settle down, it is then hard to move to new places. So my mom was always encouraging me to go and move to new places, because she, who also grew up in Arizona, not the same town, but she grew up in Arizona, had always wanted to move away. And she said, do it while you're young, while you have an opportunity. So after I graduated high school, I took the first opportunity. You know what? Ironically, where did I come to? Colorado. I came out to Colorado because I just didn't know where to go at the time. I had an opportunity to come out here and just kind of have a long visit with some friends. And I don't know, at the time I did not want to stay here. I thought it was a nice area. I definitely thought it was a great place to possibly live someday. But I had all these visions and dreams of living in different places. Originally I wanted to live in a handful of different parts of the country. Like, I wanted to live in the Northeast, I wanted to live in the Southeast, I wanted to live in Hawaii, and I'm talking about like maybe a year here, and then maybe even the Northwest, and then Southern California. I thought maybe I would check out all different parts of the U.S. to explore living in. So I was in Colorado for just under 6 months, and then I had my first opportunity to go to the Northeast after that, which was Connecticut. And so I ended up moving to Connecticut. If any of you are familiar with Connecticut, I was in the Fairfield area. I lived in a little town called Southport, and yeah, that was quite an adventure to live out there, because I had never experienced the Northeast. So it was great to just kind of check out that area and see what it was all about. And that's when I first got to go to New York too. Back to the whole New York thing. So I got to explore New York City a lot, because I was only an hour train ride from New York City when I lived there. So that was definitely, fun time in my life to just explore and definitely have adventures. So after living there I lived there for about, it wasn't a full year like I had hoped. I think I was there for about eight months. And then I ended up in New York, in Nyack, New York. I went to school there for a year. And then after I guess around a year and a half, because I was there for a full school year. So, what is it, 9 months of schooling, of a school year. So a year and a half of living on the Northeast. I went back west, and I ended up in Southern California. And Southern California kind of kept me there for a while. I didn't think I'd stay there that long, but it just worked out. I just had a really good situation work-wise, and I just made some really great friendships out there, and it was just where I felt I needed to be. So I was in Southern California, LA County, I guess I was in for, let's see, what was that? It was like five and a half years, something like. I was either 5 or 5.5 years. I think it was 5.5. So yeah, I definitely got to experience life out there, and it's funny, that's the place I thought I would eventually end up living permanently, but after 5.5 years I was done. I didn't want to live in New York, LA anymore. Southern California, I wanted out of California. It's too expensive, too crowded. Yeah, I just ready for a change. So I ended up moving to the exciting city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Not exactly where I thought I would end up. Not exactly where I wanted to settle down. I don't know. It was just, at the time, it really made sense. It was a growing city, lots of opportunities, job opportunities, and opportunities to buy a home or, property, because I was at that time in my life where I thought, maybe I should invest in some real estate. Maybe I should invest in, and stop, instead of putting money into like rent or whatever, maybe I should own my own place. So that seemed like the place to go to. Plus my brother and his wife were living there at the time. My hometown was only 2 hours away, so it was really close by if I wanted to visit. So yeah, it was Las Vegas for the next move, the next place I lived for a while. And then left after 3 years. But Las Vegas, it was good. It was a good time. I got real involved with my church out there. I went back to school, and I got involved in the whole medical billing administration field, and had a really good job out there for a while. And I actually, my first year out there, I loved it, and I thought, I want to live here. This is where I want to settle down. I really like living here. But then all kinds of things happened in my life while I was there, and I just didn't want to live there anymore. I just did not feel that was where I wanted to be permanently. I still wanted to see other places, and I still wanted to have more adventures. So I left after 3 years. And I ended up going to the southeast. I went to North Carolina. And because that was the one, I don't know, besides the Northwest, I'd traveled there before, but I had never really seen much of the South East before. So that was a place that I was really interested in. So yeah, I eventually made my way out there, and just found a job, got involved. I had some family out there, so I was able to stay with them to get on my feet, but I had only lasted a year because yet again there was a turn of events that just made me move again. And this one was for the best, because I ended up in Colorado after that. So yeah, after a year in North Carolina, I ended up back in Colorado, but more permanently. So I got a job here in Colorado and in Denver, and at that point I thought, I've moved around so much, people are never gonna take me serious, that they're just gonna think I'm transient, or I just nomad or whatever. But no, this was it. I came here and I knew this was the place. I fell in love. Eventually with my husband, but I fell in love with this state. I just loved everything about it. It had everything I had been looking for. And why didn't I see it the first time I lived in Colorado? I don't know. I think I was just really young back then. I was only 17 the first time I came out here. And I just had on my mind the fact that I wanted to live in different places. And I just thought there was something better. There was something better. And it took all this moving around until I finally realized that no, this place is the best. And look at this place. You can't really see, but there is a beautiful sunset tonight. I love the fact that it's so green, but at the same time, it's not too green, It's not too many trees like the Northeast had, or even the Southeast had. It's not too dry like, where I grew up and living in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was like the best of both worlds. There's seasons here, tons of sunshine to not get you down and depressed. So, we get snow, great Christmas, we get beautiful springs and summers, and then just breathtaking falls. And yeah, this is home. So this is why I need a Colorado hat. Preferably Colorado Rockies, but I wouldn't care if it was like the Broncos maybe, or the Avalanche, which is the hockey team out here. But yeah, I definitely need a Colorado hat to show that this is my state. This is where I come from. So, thanks for watching Walks with Holly. Have a great day.